He doesn't care if they live or die. In fact, dead is better because dead girls don't talk. This Hollywood producer leaves their bodies outside 2 LA hospitals like trash and then goes to dinner. So, what really happened to Christy Giles and Hilda Cabrales-Arzola in their final hours? And what did David Pearce do to them? Let's recap. The vibrant nightlife of Los Angeles is in full swing on Friday, November 12th, 2021. Christy Giles and her friend architect Hilda Cabrales-Arzola are out enjoying the city's energy. Hilda is 26. She just moved to Los Angeles from Mexico after landing a project management job with a construction firm. 24-year-old Christy is a star in the making. At just 14, she signed with Wilhelmina Models, one of the biggest agencies in the business. She was flying off to London for jobs while most kids were still in high school. And in 2019, she found love with Jan Cilliers, a visual effects artist. But these girls' bright futures were stolen. They start their night out with an art show at the West Hollywood Soho House. And then they make their way to a warehouse in East Los Angeles to see a DJ they like play a rave. It's about 1 a.m. The music is pumping. The lights are flashing. The girls are having a great time, dancing, just cutting loose. Then, at some point, Christy and Hilda get separated in the crowd. That's when Hilda crosses paths with a man who will change everything. His name, David Pearce. A wandering photographer at the event snaps this photo of them together. This is the beginning of the end. David is a wannabe Hollywood producer with a reputation for partying and sexual violence. He's charming when he wants to be and claims to have all the right connections. He promises them an exclusive after party at his Beverly Hills apartment. It's the kind of invite that seems too good to pass up. The party is over, but the real nightmare is just beginning. Christy and Hilda leave the rave with David Pearce and 2 other men, cinematographer Michael Ansbach and David's roommate, Brant Osborne, a small-time actor. Where are they going? David's place. Timestamp 5:11 a.m. It's early Saturday morning, November 13th. They have no idea they've just walked into a death trap. They're only at his apartment for about 20 minutes when Christy texts Hilda, "Let's get out of here." Hilda answers instantly, "Yes, I'll call an Uber, 10 minutes away." They have a way out. They're ready to leave, but they never make it. The Uber gets to the apartment, waits outside, and then drives off without them. They know they need to leave. They try to leave, but their host has other plans. Christy and Hilda aren't naive. Yes, they've been partying. Cocaine, ketamine, and cannabis are already in their system, but they're still in control. They're coherent, texting each other, calling an Uber, and ready to go. But David Pearce isn't letting them walk out that door. He pushes his fentanyl-laced cocaine on them. He pours them wine spiked with GHB, the date rape drug. And he isn't just targeting them. Brant claims to be out of the picture now, asleep in his room. But David wants to be alone with the girls, so he gives the other guy, Michael, a vodka drink that tastes awful. Within minutes, Michael is dizzy, sick, and completely knocked out. The women pass out too, but they never wake up enough to leave. For hours, the horror inside that apartment plays out behind closed doors. Between 10:30 a.m. and 4 p.m., a downstairs neighbor hears something disturbing. Moaning, sounds of pain coming from David Pearce's apartment. Is it Christy? Is it Hilda? Are they fighting to wake up? By the time anyone sees them again, it's too late. Meanwhile, across the state, Christy's husband, Jan Cilliers, is completely unaware of the nightmare unfolding. He's in San Francisco visiting family. He knows Christy is out with friends. He knows she had a late night. So when she doesn't text him back in the morning, he doesn't panic. Not at first. But as the hours pass, something doesn't feel right. Even after a big night out, Christy should be awake by now. So he checks their location sharing app. And that's when he sees it. Her phone is at some random address in West LA. A place he doesn't recognize. A place she has no reason to be. He has no idea what's happening behind those doors. No idea that at that exact moment, Christy and Hilda are lying unconscious, dying. And David Pearce, he knows it. Christy is lying there unresponsive. As for Hilda, David tells Brant and Michael she's asleep in his bed. Later, doctors will find David's DNA under her fingernails. They want to call 911, but David shuts it down. He looks at them and says something so cold, so disturbing, it will haunt this case forever. Dead girls don't talk. Finally, at 4:19 p.m., 11 hours after drugging them, David makes his move. Security cameras catch him carrying Christy's lifeless body down the stairs to his black Toyota Prius. But get this, the license plates are gone, and he's changed clothes. A hat, a mask, a hooded sweatshirt. This isn't a man panicking, this is a man covering his tracks. At 5:05 p.m., David and Brant pull up to a hospital in Culver City. They dump Christy's body at the entrance, tell staff they're just good Samaritans who found her passed out on the curb, and drive away. Doctors rush to help her, but it's too late. Christy is already cold to the touch, but he's not done yet because Hilda is still inside that apartment and her fate is just as disturbing. 2 hours after dumping Christy, David and Brant do it again. At 7 p.m., they pull up to a different hospital in West LA. They drag Hilda's barely breathing body out of the car and leave her right at the entrance. They don't explain, they don't wait, they just drive away. Hilda is rushed inside, but the damage is catastrophic. Severe organ failure. Too much poison in her system. Too much time lost. She fights for her life, but on November 24th, just days before her 27th birthday, her family makes the heartbreaking decision to take her off life support. And David Pearce, he couldn't care less. Because right after dumping 2 dying young women at hospitals, he turns to Brant and says, "Listen, there's nothing we can do now. Let me buy you dinner." Dinner! Like it's just another night. They stop at El Pollo Loco, grab some Mexican food, eat like nothing happened, then head home and go to bed. But the walls are closing in fast. Christy's husband is in full panic mode. He gives LAPD his wife's last known location. By 1 a.m., police swarm David's apartment, pounding on the door. And where's David? Trying to climb out the bedroom window. He knows it's over. When officers grab him, he has thousands of dollars in cash, plus his passport. He was ready to run. But he's not running anywhere now. So what does he do next? You're not going to believe it. Or maybe you will. Sitting in police custody, David Pearce plays dumb. He tells officers, "Oh, those girls? Yeah, they were big drug users. But me? No, I didn't give them anything." But then he slips up. He casually mentions, "I know there's a really bad batch of fentanyl going around." Then he adds, "I don't do that stuff. It's scary." Now, why is that important? Because at that moment, police didn't even know fentanyl was involved in the women's deaths. So how would David know? Unless he was the one who gave it to them. But he keeps lying. He insists he didn't have drugs in his apartment. He says he never saw the women take anything. And then he comes up with the most ridiculous excuse ever. He tells police he left to walk his dog, says he was outside for 5 to 10 minutes, came back, and suddenly Christy and Hilda were unconscious. But this was no accident, no mistake, and it wasn't just this one night. David Pearce has been doing this for years. For 13 years between 2005 and 2021, he hunted his victims at parties, bars, and on dating apps. His favorite trick? Pretending to be a Hollywood big shot. "I can make you a star." That's what he told them. Aspiring actresses, young models, women chasing their dreams in LA. And they believed him. Why wouldn't they? But once he got them inside his apartment, the nightmare began. He handed them drinks, but these weren't just drinks, they were drugged. As soon as the women felt sick, dizzy, paralyzed, he pounced. They couldn't move, they couldn't fight back, they couldn't escape. And David, he knew no one would believe them. And for years, no one did. In 2014, prosecutors thought about taking him down for sexual assault, but in the end, they declined to press charges. He got away with it, and he kept going. But after Christy and Hilda's deaths, that changed everything. One by one, women started coming forward, and their stories are chillingly similar. After the assault, he recited their home addresses back to them, proving he knew exactly where they lived. Then he threatened their families. If they told anyone, there would be consequences. Now, David Pearce isn't just facing murder charges, he's finally facing the past he thought he buried. And the evidence against him? It's overwhelming. A month after Christy and Hilda's deaths, police made their move, arresting David Pearce, Brant Osborne, and Michael Ansbach. And here's the irony. They grabbed Brandt right off the set of NCIS where he was filming a scene as an extra. 1 second, he's pretending to be in a crime show. The next, he's part of a real-life criminal case. Fast forward to February 2025, after a bombshell trial where multiple women took the stand and described how Pearce drugged and assaulted them over the years, the jury didn't hesitate. Verdict: guilty. David Pearce is convicted of first-degree murder and forcible rape of 7 other victims. He will never walk free again. And what about his so-called friends? Brandt Osborne, who prosecutors say helped move the bodies and destroy evidence, was charged as an accessory, but the jury couldn't agree on his guilt, so the trial ended in a mistrial. Prosecutors will now decide whether to try him again. And Michael Ansbach, he was never charged. Instead, he testified for the prosecution. Christy and Hilda had their whole lives ahead of them. They were smart, talented, and chasing their dreams. But one night with the wrong man changed everything. But was justice really served? Should Brandt Osborne be retried for helping cover up the crime? And what about Michael Ansbach? Should he have faced charges too for not doing more to help? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you like getting all the crime in half the time, let us know with a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe so you never miss a recap. I'm Chris. Amy and I are here 3 times a week with new stories. Until next time, take care.